Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. My name is Amir Ahmed. I'm an Egyptian architect, computational designer, and co-founder of Exact Architecture Studio. Welcome to part 4 from the Complex Tower series. Before I start, I just would like to say thank you to supporting me and all of the positive comments I received on social media and all of the messages. Here are some of them. So I would like to say thank you to all of you and for all of this positive energy. It motivates me to do more. And also I would like to say thank you to Mariana Cabugueira. She is the queen of fluidity. That's her message about my post on about my Morpheus Hotel envelope. I sent it to her on Instagram, and that's what she said about the post. It was really motivating. And for those who doesn't know who is Mariana, I think everyone should know about her. Here's her website. She is basically an architect from Zaha Hadid Architects. She is an architectural designer in the computational class and the competitions cluster, and also she is teaching at AADRL, which is the Architecture Association Design Research Lab in London, and doing a lot of live workshops and talks and webinars. Also, she is teaching Maya and fluidity in Maya, Autodesk Maya, and this is some of her work. And recently she won the competition with the YAC, which basically the Hyperloop Desert Campus. She was part of 3 architect teams, and this is her project. And the link to her website and this project will be in the description. You can check all of her work, and also the link to her Instagram is here. So thank you, Mariana, for supporting, if you are watching. And again, I would like to say thank you all for your kind and positive comments and messages, and thank you for everything about my content. Basically, what we explained so far in part 1 is just the conceptual form and how to create a fluid, simple, complex, clean form with sub-D in Rhino7. In part 2, we started a little bit to dig deeper and started to create a little bit of Grasshopper. Started to create some boxes and some more. We tried to create some morphing things. Part 3, which was last week, we created a little bit of detailing. We created the full sub-D complex facade with the sub-D main form, and the lighting, the glass, and the structure, the secondary structure. So basically, that's what we created last week, if you missed it. And now let's start our session. Basically, I try to remove the noise from microphone. Try to ignore all the noise. If you see, if you checked, if the noise cancelling is working, please let me know in the comments or in the live chat, please. And thank you so much. I try to organize today's session will be focused mainly on repeating what we did last week, but instead of creating instead of just do it myself, I will do it here with you, because I will face a lot of problems, and I will show you how I solved them, because when you copy the script and apply different sub-D parts, you will face another problems, and every time you do this thing you will face some different kind of problems. So I will show you how I deal with them, and basically today will be mainly focused on how to solve problems. So basically that's we did this part last week. Okay, today we will create this part, and we will create this part right here, and also we will create this part, but it's not shown right now. Okay, so let me show you what's going on. I just organized the script a little bit. So these are the things that we were working on, and I add the box to each one, because I want to repeat the script, but I don't want to repeat this part, so it will be easier to understand. And you can see the spaghetti in the script, but if you don't remove the spaghetti from the beginning, you will see a mess, and you will lose where you are working. So again, review on. Let me hide this because this is a little bit heavy, and it causes the file to be not working properly. So in this part, the script worked perfectly, but in this part we needed to adjust a little bit more. Let me disable this, and just copy, Control C, Control V, just copy it right here, and enable this part again. It will take a few moments. Up here we are. Make sure when you are working on a very complex project like this, do not enable all the clusters at once. Do not work on them when they are fully enabled. That will make you will make your processor and your graphic card having a hard time, and maybe sometimes crash your file, which is not a good thing to do. Just disable everything and only focus on the part that you are working on. After finishing the part you are working on, bake it into Rhino and disable it. So, and move on. Now I need those surfaces, the original ones, yes, and I will select these two. This one, let me hide these HI, I don't need them. I need this surface, and again shift and click on the surface, and you will select the one behind it, and simply add this in here. Set multiple sub-D, just give it some time. And this is basically what I need to show you, because it's not working as it's supposed to work. Let me Control A and hide everything, so it will be easier to navigate. And sorry, let's zoom to this. you can see that the faces, the stripes that we are creating is not vertical as the original surfaces. That's why I need to simply distangle this cluster. It's important to distangle because if you didn't distangle this cluster, it will edit the original cluster, and that's not what you really need to do. So make sure that you are distangling the cluster before you start editing it. Okay, and before we move on, disable everything in here and take it step by step. Disable, and maybe this one disable also, and just in here click. And now we need to figure out what is happening, why this looks like that, why this looks like that. So basically, if we did ISO curve and simply selected those faces and set MD slider, and in here make sure that the surfaces are reparameterized, hide those for now. So again, hide those. I need only the U. You can see that the surfaces, the orientation of the surfaces are not the same. You can see those surfaces are the same orientation, but this one is not the same, and this is why you need to fix this problem. So all we need to do right now is just moving this a little bit in here, maybe taking this and explode, or maybe wireframe, WIR wireframe, and select the faces. And when you select it, basically each face will contain 4 edges. So select the first one, list item. Now he is picking those curves, and select second one. That's exactly what we need. And loft. Before we loft, make sure that you are grafting this and grafting this, and make sure also to flip these curves, and simply add this one in here, add this one in here. And after that, you need to make sure that the tree in here you are having a 6 two branches contains 6 elements. Each branch contains 6 elements. In here you have a lot of mess, so make sure that you are trimming the tree and simplify it. And show me now. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need. After that, just input this one in here and input this one in here. And now, is this working? Let's hide this. By the way, if you input this one in here, you can see that this is the U and this is the V. So this is perfect. Okay, so this is basically the first problem that we solved today. And show me this again. Let me make this a little bit like this, because I don't want this to appear in the next in the second monitor. Let's preview this. Now everything is perfect. You can see that this is exactly what we are looking for in this cluster. Again, let's save. And let's enable this. This one basically just enable, making a twisted box. So I don't think we need to edit it. Enable in here. Let's check this one. So if we set list item in here, we can say that these items he's starting this is the first item, and if I set 2, not 2, if I set 1, this is the 0 and this is the 1, so I need to reverse the cluster. But before I edit again, I need to distangle this, so no, and simply distangle before I edit. And go to here and simply reverse. So if I set list item again and input this one in here and go to 1 or 2 or something, so basically this is 1 for each group, 1 2 3 4, so you can see the tree is exactly as I hope to work on. Okay, and simply save and enable this. After enabling this, let's just make sure that this is working exactly as we hope. This is the first one, this is the second one. I don't think there's anything needs to be edited in here. Let's enable this. Let's enable this one by one. Enable. And just I want to go to twisted box in here. Yes. And merge this one, show me this one, and show me this one. So yes, I need this part in here to be in here and to be rotated. So that's not what we are looking for. In the last session, we created this cluster. Let me show you in here. Explode. This cluster contains the group, and the group itself contains. Let's zoom to this group. And we need to show the group preview on. Yes. So this group, I need to create, I need to make sure I get the center to the group. So I picked this center component, which is basically in this plugin which called Heteroptera. Okay, and I created this, but make sure to hit for all, right click and click for all. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. بخير الحمد لله وتمام وبفضل ونعمة. شكرا جزاك الله خيرا. Okay, now let's. This part is this component is called line SDL. Line SDL basically create like a vector. Has a start point which is basically the center, and contains also a direction. This direction you need to simply set one vector, and the vector you need to set is basically this direction. So that's the vector, and the vector will be axis. This component called rotate axis. So basically you are rotating everything around this axis, and again you output the cluster. So let's preview off everything in here and remove this. Maybe we don't need this to be like this, and simply go to here and select the input, and the input is the black one, the output is the white one, and that's basically how you rotate everything inside the same cluster. Or you can simply rearrange the points of the twisted box, but I don't think that's a smart move. You can simply just rotate everything and it's working. And in here go to cluster, and after that you need to select this one and zoom. And as a geometry, you need to input it in here. So let's simply zoom. That's exactly what we need to do. Okay. So that's, for now, that's perfect. This is the first one. The second one is the one above it, and the one above it, we need to do the same thing in here. Control C. For now, this one should be working. Doesn't matter, because if it's upside down, it will work. That's perfect. And enable this. This one in here, we need to rotate the group, so you can Control C, Control V, and click in here wire display, disconnect all of this, and simply click on the geometry in here and drag it, Control and Shift, so you will see like the undo command or like reverse or something, and drag it and drop it in here, and simply drag this one in here. So now it's perfect. So if we disable this, preview off, not disable, sorry, preview off again. We don't need this. Preview off and enable. حاضر تمام، هستخدم البايفوكال. بس هو للأسف عشان معظمهم كلاسترز، ممكن inside the clusters هستخدم البايفوكال. Okay, now let's see what is going on in here. So this is exactly after solving the problem. This is what we hope to receive. As you can see, this one is perfect. This one is the light. Let's hide everything just to make sure that everything is perfect. Preview on. Yes, this is working. Preview on. This is working. Preview on. This is the glass. Preview on. And preview on. Okay, perfect. So this cluster doesn't need any necessary work, so this one will not be modified. After that, I created these two clusters. Control C, Control V. These two clusters are basically the visualization clusters, so I will input the sub-D, 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 prep, and simply the curves. Let me enable this. And of course, I don't want to see this for now. Let's double click and check what's going on. It's basically the visualization part, but inside the cluster. That's it. Nothing fancy in here. But make sure that these are turned on and disabled. In here, you don't have an output. It's just you want to show your work. So simply disable or discard and close, or you can save. It doesn't matter. And right click on it and make sure that you are hitting preview content. If you don't hitting preview content and your cluster is on, you can't see anything. So make sure that you do that. Okay, so that's basically it. Of course, I want to bake it, so let's click in here and bake. Okay, click in here, bake. Okay, click in here, bake. Okay, If you want to bake, make sure that you are baking the custom preview, because the custom preview bake with material. In here you are baking with no material, so it's important to do that. And of course bake, and okay. So now discard and close, or save and close, it doesn't matter in this case. But if you are working if you are checking on something and you are not editing, make sure that you hit discard and close, because you don't need your file to reprocess everything. uh, Not necessary. Okay, now let's continue this. Let's disable this for now. Okay, it looks great for now. Rendered, shaded, let's keep it shaded. Okay, I'll just, let's say yes, and go inside again. Perfect. Sometimes the graphic card doesn't understand that I disabled the cluster, the visualization cluster, so I need to restart the file or recompute the file, whatever. Anyway, let's see this part. I need to work on this part, which is basically in here. Let's show this. Yes, I need these two. So simply select this one, shift hit the other, and input it in here. Input set multiple sub D. Maybe in here you don't need the sub D to be like this, and double click. So you are creating, let's hide. Basically you are creating the same boxes just like the other ones. So I don't think you need to do anything about this. Enable and enable. In here we need to check this one is these ones, this one is these ones, but of course I need this one and this one. Again, you can do them in here, so they are exactly at the curved ones. I explained this part in part 3, you can check on it. And now enable this. So this is basically what we need. We will see if that's exactly what we need or not. Enable this and enable this. Of course we need to enable this. This is basically a group to rotate everything. Let's preview this off and enable. We can Control C, Control V, and simply drag these in here. The P-ribs, I don't care about the curves for now. Let's enable this and enable this. In this case, it's working perfectly, so that's a good news. But we need to fix all of these things. So basically we will simply bake again and again and discard and close, no. And again, let's disable this. And I need to hide this, preview off. Yes, I don't want to see it. Okay. Lock solver and do not lock solver, or recompute. Recompute is basically enabling all the cluster again, all the enabled cluster again. Or for now we need to, sorry for that. And now after this, you will see that you need to work on this part in Rhino. So I will show you how to do this. But in this case, I will just move this like in here, negative 500. I don't need this. And simply move this like 100 meters. Okay. And I need to simply, you can see this, these vertices in here. I need to make sure that they are creased, because I want this surface to be connected with this surface. It doesn't matter if it's connected actually, but I want it to look connected. So what I really need to do right now, in here, I need just to see the sub-D wires. So I will not select any unnecessary vertices. Make sure that you are working on the smooth mode, especially when you are selecting the vertices like this, because it will be harder to know where the vertices are. So hit tab, and simply when you are in the vertex mode, and go to the brush. The brush is a magical command, because simply all you need to do is just make sure that the brush width is reasonable. So for now, let's make it 20 or something, and that's the size of the brush. So now I will select draw a line like this in here, make sure that you are not hitting anything else than what you need, and like this, and after that hit enter. So that's exactly, I selected the brushes, or the curves, or the faces, or anything, just by draw a stroke of brush, and simply crease, and go to the top, and you can see this one. This part is basically perfect. We need to make sure that the bottom is the same thing. So we are going to the front, and simply go to here, and again hit the tab. And in here you can select them. It doesn't matter. It's not something hard to pick. So, and again crease, and that's perfect for the glass. Now let's move the glass again. Just select filter none, and move the glass negative 100. And now we need to work on this and this. Now let's move it. Sorry, we need to move this one also, negative 100. And we need to select this group and this group, and simply go to 100. And in this case, make sure that the tab is working. In this case, go to the ghosted mode, because it will show you the back vertices, so it will be easier to see what you are dealing with. So in this case, just simply select those, and first hit crease. In here also select those, and again hit crease. In here, make sure that you don't don't select those. If you selected them, it will create a weird, let me show you. Select those and hit crease and go to the smooth mode. Yes, I hit it crease, right? Maybe those. And crease. Yes, it will create this effect, which is not a cool thing to do. So, and also it will create some kind of distortion on the sub D surface finish at the end. So no, that's not what we need to do. Just make sure that you are picking those and hit crease. Again, make sure that you are in this mode. Don't select unnecessary vertices, just make sure that you are hitting the right ones and simply crease. Again in here, select those and those, crease. It's kind of boring a little bit, but it's not so much work to do. So because they are not, it takes a minute just to process them all, just like this, and hit crease. You can do them all at once, but if you selecting something wrong or missed the selection for some reason, it will ruin everything. So let's go to sub D mode, and that's perfect. You can see that they are exactly joined together. In here it didn't happen. Maybe we didn't select it. So again, let's hit the tab and select those and simply crease and go to the smooth mode. Make sure that everything is perfect. Now we need to make sure that these are also creased. Okay, and also these two. So hit this one and select this vertex and this vertex and hit enter and go to this mode. And also let's go to the front, and in the front you need to actually, let's go to the perspective. In the perspective will be much better to deal with. And again, let's select this mode and select these. Select these. Okay, select all of this. In here again, do not select these two, because if you selected them, it will create a weird connection. And simply select those, select those, select those, select all of this, select all of this, select those, and simply crease. So it's looking perfect. In here we have a weird face. So what we really need to do is just go to here. It shouldn't be like this, but for some reason Grasshopper didn't understand it well, and simply go to tab and select the curve and select this curve with this curve, and simply in here go to bridge and do not make it crease. Okay, and if you hit in here you can see that everything's perfect. We need to do the same in here and bridge, and that's perfect. We need to do the same thing in here. You will face a problem and you will fix it. Just it will take a little bit of time, but doesn't matter. Delete this one and delete this one, and simply go to the edge mode and bridge. Okay, select this one and bridge, and that's perfect. And again, the same thing happens in here. Just select those faces and those faces. Okay, delete them. Select this edge, bridge. Select this edge, bridge. Select this edge. You can select them better in the flat mode, but it's okay. I know what I'm doing, and with practice you will know what you are doing. Okay, so that's perfect. This now is a perfect sub D form with no flows. And now let's go to none and move it back. Simply let's click in here, -100. Now let's go to the lighting. Just select this group and simply move it a little bit in, let's say 100 again. And again, all you need to do is go to the brush, select the vertices and go to the brush and select those until you've finished your line, and enter. Make sure that you are not selecting anything else than what you need, or simply remove it from your selection and go to crease, add crease, and now show me the final result. Yes, that's perfect. Let's zoom a little bit on this, zoom and select it, or you can simply go to the standard and click on this one, which is a shortcut, so you can see everything's perfect in here. We need to make sure that everything is perfect down there, so I think it's perfect. I don't need to work on it. I think it's perfect. Great. So now let's move everything back. Let's go to sub D, make sure that you are hitting none and -100. Okay, so this, let's go to the shaded mode, sorry, the rendered mode, and this is perfect with fixing all of the problems and everything. Okay, now let's move back to what we want to do. Again, if we shown, I already created this part. Let's go to the layers and show these parts and zoomed a little bit to that. Select objects and zoom selected. So this is exactly what we created. Okay, and it's perfect. So I don't need this, but I just showed you what kind of a problem I faced in Grasshopper and Rhino and how to fix them. Again, we will create the same thing in here, but we will face a different kind of problems. So let me show you. So this part I already created in here, so maybe I'll erase it or simply disable it for now. Okay, and let's copy this. Sorry, yes, this part without the process word and without this, and Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, edit, copy. Sometimes Control C, Control V doesn't work, so just and go to here somewhere and edit best in center. Okay, and enable this. Now I wanted to create this part, but instead of creating it with the box that has a little bit curvature outside of it, I need to create it simply flat like this, the top part and the bottom part and everything a little bit flat with a small distances between them. So let's hide all of this and let's show this. Again, let's preview off everything in here for now. Actually, let's disable all of this. Disable. Okay. And simply select this and shift and select the other one and simply select multiple sub D. Okay, and let's go inside and see what kind of problem we are dealing with. Discard and close. You see what we happened? We unfortunately edited the original cluster, so that's not great at all. In this case, I know what we edited, so let's discard and close. Okay, and disentangle this one and simply double click. I'm sorry. Let's not disentangle it. Control Z and let's disentangle this one, because maybe there's another one like this. So yes, there is another one. Anyway, let's simply remove all of this because that's not what we wanted to do, and go back in here, go back in here. This is the original cluster that we created, and save. So this one is the original cluster, and this one, you see what kind of problems that we need to focus to deal with. Okay, so the disentangle thing is really important. Again, why? I disentangled this, so this one should be a unique. Yes. And simply move this in here, drag this one in here, drag this one in here, and go to save. So this one should be like this. Great. So all we need to do right now is simply, instead of creating, I want them to look exactly the same. So instead of creating multiple slider like this, I simply will hit a number like 7 or something and input it in here instead of this, and the same number will be inputted in here, and this one will not be needed. And right click and add to group. Sorry, this one, right click and add to group. What's happening? Okay, let's right click in here and see what kind of boxes that we are dealing with. Let's see. So the boxes looks perfect for now. So is this what we really need to do? Let's go list item and select this. Actually, let's select the list item in here, and maybe we can say 12 or any number, just like that, and go to the first one. And I want to make sure that they are exactly perfect. So in this case, you don't need to work on them. So that's great for now. And simply disable, discard, and close. Okay, enable. And here, because we had before we had a slider with multiple inputs, and we don't have the same thing in here. We need to fix this problem. So let's go to discard and close, and again distangle. Make sure that this cluster is distangled. The way that you know that when you right click, you see this tangle is hidden, so that means that this cluster is unique. Okay, and all we need to do right now is just simply, instead of as you can see in here, we need to make sure that you have the group and the number, and group and number, and group and number, so the cluster will work without editing too much. So simply we can cross-reference and selecting this and selecting the number that we are inputted, and let's see, now you have 5, and now you have 5, and input this one in here. And you can simply input this one in here and hit Alt and move it a little bit forward, and simply like this. So this will fix the problem without creating so much work to do. You know, you want the minimum amount of work to fix your problem. Okay, and simply save and close in this case, and enable. I need to make sure that this one like this one, and this one. So as you can see, because it's a rigid number, you need to make sure that it's not, you need to fix this pattern. Okay, so let's add a 0 in here, but before we do that, make sure to distangle. Again, I'm keeping forgetting, and I know that you will forget, and this is not cool. This distangle. And again, let's go in here. If you add a 0 in here, just okay, and add a 0 in here, and simply select these. Now you can see that it's kind of making a pattern, and select these. That's perfect. But instead of creating this, I need to maybe remove 2 zeros. Okay, don't keep a space in here, because it will create like this empty thing, and it will ruin your pattern. So that's not what, sorry, that's not what you need. So make sure that there is no empty item thing. Okay, and again remove 2 from here, and remove the empty element. Okay, and now you have this, and you have this, and you have this. That's perfect. That's really perfect. Okay, save and close, and now simply enable this. Okay, I need to see this one. Okay, now I don't need this one, and I just want to see this one in here, this one in here. So this one is perfect, this one is not perfect. What I really need to do is grabbing this group. Okay, Control C, Control V. Again, Control C, Control V sometimes doesn't work. I really don't know why. So again, select it and edit copy, and maybe best will work now. Control Shift and V. It's working. Control Shift and V will paste exactly in the center of the current canvas you are working on. So you don't need to paste something in the original place, which was, you know, somewhere else in the file. Okay, so this one will need to be modified. So I will create Control C, Control V, and simply I will remove everything, disconnect from here, and grab this one, Control Shift, and drag it in here. And I don't need this one right now, so this one needs to be this one. Sorry, need to enable. So that's perfect. Actually not, that's not perfect, because I need this one to be in here and this one to be in here. So basically we need to make sure that we are selecting the perfect ones. So maybe we can do simply as instead this one in here and this one in here, I will replace the twisted boxes that we are dealing with. So simply I will input this one in here and go input this one in here. So is it perfect? Yes, it's perfect. Great. So and simply let's preview on this. That's perfect. Okay. No, it's not perfect for some reason. This one and this one and this one. Aha, there's some twisted boxes that are out of their original boxes. So let me show you. If you have this box in here, okay, and you have these ones in here, you can see that the original box is not exactly where it should be. So let's keep this one in here and keep this one in here. This one we need to make sure that the box is perfect, so the boxes in here is not perfect. Okay, yes, because of this, the same twisted box in here should be in here. You see what I'm doing? Because this one is the same group as this one. So what I really need to do is selecting this one. Okay, go back to the original and select the box and simply input the box in here instead of the original. Okay, now it's perfect. Yep, it's really perfect. Okay, let's remove this one and preview off this one and simply enable. First of all, I need to hide these for now just to see what's going on, and enable this. And again, just select these. I don't want the curves for now, just select this one and go to sub D, prep. Do not preview content, it doesn't matter in this case. Discard and close, enable it. Double click. The pattern is not perfect, or the selection of these things are not perfect. Now we need to go back. Let's go to discard and close. Let's disable this for now. Let's go back a little bit to here maybe. Let's say list item. Let's go to the original one. Actually, no. Let's go to select save. Maybe I shouldn't hit save. Okay. The problem here is in this cluster, because in this cluster I arranged them by the Z direction. So basically, if I set list item, you can see that this is the first item and this is the second item. Let me hide these just so you can see properly. Anyway, properly. I'm sorry about my English. It's really weird. Okay. And these 2 and 3, 4. The main thing that I want to say is that they are not organized. I want them to be organized like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can apply the pattern on them and it will be perfect. So basically I will delete everything in here, delete this one and discard and close. Make sure that this one is distangled, right click, it's distangled, that's perfect. And simply after we did this, we now want to make sure that we are sorting them by something relative to it. So simply I will select list, wireframe, pair wireframe, and select the wireframe of them. Okay, and I will say list item, and he will selecting this. No, I don't need this. I need the second one, maybe it's perfect. Okay, so basically this is the second one. Yes, that's great. And simply as you can see, it's I need to join them, so I will say trim tree, and just simplify this just to make sure that everything is perfect. And so now we have two branches, each branch contain five curves, and simply join them. After joining the curves, you will see that each branch will contain one curve, and now all we need to do is hitting Alt and move a little bit of space and remove these. I don't need those for now. I need this one because it will give me the center to each surface. And there is something called sort along curve, and these are the points that I want to sort, and these are the curves that I want to sort them around. And simply in here there is the indices, the new order of the surfaces. So if I said list item and I picked those, okay, and instead of the original sort I picked those. So let me show you what's written in here. So it's 21043. He will pick them according to the new order. Okay, so now if I set list item to the list item, it will be, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's perfect. That's exactly what I really need. And hit input them in here. And now let's maybe remove everything in here, we don't need that. Maybe organize our work a little bit. You know, I don't like mess like this. Maybe move this a little bit in here. Okay, and move this one, drag this one up to here. Maybe move this one up to be easy to read. Move this one. Okay, it's perfect for now. Now let's preview off everything, and now we have our boxes. Okay, perfect. Save and close. Let's see, is everything perfect or do we need more work? Sorry. Okay, where are you? Yes, you are here. Let's check this. Preview. I think everything is perfect, everything is promising. So preview off and simply enable this. Double click. Yep, it's perfect. This is perfect. Okay, now we bake, simply bake. Bake this, yes, okay. Again, bake, yes, okay. Again, bake, yes, okay. Again, bake, yes, okay. And in here, discard and close, and disable this. So again, you will face the same problem in here, which is basically the you know the creasing problem at the end. But to save us some time, I don't want to deal with it for now. Now let's select all of this, move it like 100 away, 100 meter away. Okay, and simply open this one and selecting those surfaces because I want to deal with them. Okay, and simply go to here, set multiple surface, set multiple sub D, and maybe simply disable this for now because I don't want to deal with it. Disable, hide this, and let's check. Double click. I think let's zoom. They look perfect. I don't think they need any editing or something for now. Maybe we can bring those back just to make sure that everything's perfect for now. What did I hit? It's 100, sorry. What's your problem? Okay, let's bake this part again. Enable this. Enable this. Aha, I selected the wrong. I should select those. Okay. Bake. Sorry about that. Bake. Okay. Bake. Okay. And bake. Okay. And now let's save and close or discard. In this case, discard just will be enough. And simply selecting those two. Okay. And input this in here. Select multiple sub D. Maybe remove this for now. If we need it, we will input it back. Just reverse and simply disable this part because I don't want to make it so much heavier on my process or my processor and everything. Disable and enable. We don't want to enable everything at once. Enable, enable, enable. Let's see what's going on. Preview on. Let's hide those because I want to see what's going on. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, and hide these. Zoom and hide. Preview off. Okay, they are upside down. As you can see, they are upside down, and this is not what we need. So simply we will reverse this. So now they are not upside down. That's perfect. That's why I reversed in here. Okay. And let's see, this one is perfect. This one is perfect. Actually, this one is not perfect because I need this one. This is perfect one, but this one is not perfect. I need to move it one step further. So I will go in here and simply distangle this because I need to edit it. Right click, make sure that they are it's distangled, and double click, and now we are talking. We need to modify these. So basically it's as you can see, it's the third and the eighth one. So I want it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I want it to be at the 7, so I will remove it from here and input it from here, and simply input this one here, so it will be perfect like this. Okay, and simply save and close, and this one will be a perfect one. So preview off, sorry, disable this one, I don't need it, disable, and enable. Control C, Control V again, input these, enable, double click, and that's perfect. All you need to do, just as we did in the previous part, is just to fix these parts, because in Grasshopper I don't know if there is a way to solve them, but for now it's the sub-D for Grasshopper is really new, so it's not what we it doesn't show how we can solve this part. Okay, but for now I showed you how to solve it in Rhino, which doesn't take that much of a time, but it's okay. So discard and close, no, and I will ignore this part for now, disable, and of course you will need to copy this just like this, and copy these parts, Control C, Control V, and copy these, Control C, Control V. But instead of picking the ones in here, you will need to pick the ones in here, and try also to disentangle this part and fix the problem in here, and the result of that will be looking like this. So as you can see, is everything disabled? Disable again. Sometimes the graphic card doesn't understand that you are out of your okay, and select objects. Yes, I need to delete those I baked them. Okay, as you can see, in here you have the third, and of course in this pattern it was a little bit different. You have the third, the sixth, and the ninth. In here you have another thing, and after that, after finishing, if you have a mirrored concept, do not do the same script on the other side. Just simply mirror it in Rhino, because it will take so much to process, and sometimes it will not work the same way it worked in the original surface. Okay, and simply now we need to show everything. Okay, in here we need to work on something a little bit different. I need to select this and double click again and select the one behind it. The lecture of today is a little bit technical and problem solving, and it's not so, maybe some tricks, some tips of Grasshopper, but of course you need to do this to make the things work. So it's really an important webinar. Again, let's continue this part. This part will be a little bit difficult, but let me show you why. Let's again Control C. Actually, let's select this one better. Okay, Control C, Control V, and select it in here. Yes, and simply select multiple sub D and enable. Control C, Control V. Actually, just delete this and Control C, Control V, so it will not be annoyed like this. Okay, and simply select multiple sub D. Enable this part. And let's see what's going on. Let's double click. And you can see that this is not what we are looking for. So again, discard and close. And for now, let's hide everything. So let's hide this part. Let's hide. Let's go to the top. HI. HI. I will work on this part. Again, I forgot to explain the floors, but I will explain them in the next part because I'm running out of time. Let's hide these. Actually, let's hide everything and simply double click and let's see what's going on. Disable. Okay, we need to enable this. Enable, yes. Double click. Simply zoom. Yep, that's not quite what we are really need to do, because you can see that not all the faces are exactly the same. And that's because simply the faces, actually this is kind of perfect. No, it's not kind of perfect. Let's input this one in here. See what's going on. Almost perfect. This one is almost perfect. Okay. So we need to ignore all of this. But before we ignore, again, we need to distangle. So again, distangle and double click. And simply ignore all of this for now. Let's delete it and simply input this one in here. And is it perfect? We need to make sure that it's perfect. Go to loft and make sure that align section. Okay. Again, it's almost perfect. This surface is not perfect. So we need to fix it. If your result looks like this, maybe we can go to this one and sort. Go to select the edges, but select them based on their height, for instance. So let's go to point on curve, BOI on curve. Select these, make sure it's quarter or something. You don't need to you need to make sure that they are in a different locations. Okay, and simply go to deconstruct and sort the curves. Sort the curves based on the z direction. Okay, and simply remove this for now and select these ones and go to the first or the second, the third, the fourth. Maybe you don't need these, and simply there is a component called for edges surface, and simply select 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you loft between them, you need to trim the tree. Sorry, trim the tree. Simplify. After trimming the tree, you need to select the edges or deconstruct, whatever. Deconstruct P-rip. And is it working? No. Select this one in here. Select this one in here. Aha, because it's 14. Okay, if we flip matrix, now H2, it's working, but not as we hope. So we can simply select loft and align section. Well, again, it's not perfect. Maybe you can switch those. No, it doesn't matter. Alright, if we set wireframe and we set list item, you can see that if we tree branch check is a component I created, is a cluster I created and saved in Rhino because I wanted to uh, easily check on my trees if they are working or not. So in this case, this is the inside of it. It's basically a data, whatever your data input, and this one is tree statics. You will input a number in this list item, and you will pick a branch, and this is just a tree branch, and that's it. Okay, so ignore and simply zoom. And I need to hide those because I can't see. Hide those. Hide these surfaces. And show me those. Zoom. He is picking only one. I'm sorry, I need to pick those. This is perfect, okay. I'm sorry, let's remove those for now. And let's go back to these are the faces. We need to trim them back simply and make sure that they are simplified, and each branch now contains a 14 surface. Now let's flip the matrix, and now show me these. Yes, so for now let's remove this. I don't want to be distracted. Okay, let's say 5 or something, and you can see, let's hide these. Okay, simply click in here and zoom, and each two surfaces are perfect with each other. I can pull the curves toward each other, but I don't think that this is a perfect thing to do. But in this case, maybe it's the appropriate thing to do. Okay, so now this is perfect. Each surface in front of the one. Okay, now let's say wireframe again. And they are 4. Let's join them, and after joining they will be 1. Let's trim it, trim the tree, sorry, trim the tree. We need 4 edge surfaces, 4 edge surface, and list item, and this one 2 3 4, 2 3 4. Let's hope they are perfect. These are the surfaces. Let's trim these. This looks perfect. Not super perfect, but at least it gives us. Okay, let's hide these just to see. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. So before we do this, we need to sort the curves based on the height. So sort based on the height. So simply we can do is on curve point on curve. Yes, this is the one, and maybe move it a little bit like just like this, and go to deconstruct, and sort list, and this is the sorting key, and this is the list that we need to sort, and input this one in here. Preview off. So those are perfect. These ones are not perfect. These two, because it's selecting one from each surface, which is not very cool. We need to make sure that the surfaces in here, preview on, preview off. We need to make sure that these surfaces are not like this. List item, or simply tree branch. Why? These two are not perfect. They seems perfect in here, but for some reason it doesn't work. Okay. We will figure this out. Inshallah. We will figure this out. Okay, okay, okay. So everything else is working perfectly. So let's say 2 or something. So the ones next to it is perfect. This one, this one, this one. Let's increase this, maybe to 20 or something. Okay, 7. How many branches? There are 13 branches. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so preview this off. This one, enable. Okay, if we set tree branch in here, this is a branch. This is a branch, so it should be not like this. Aha, this is the problem. So in here we have a lot of branches. Okay, when we trim them, in here maybe it's 2, it's 1. Okay, so I need to separate them into 2 branches, but without losing without yeah, each surface will contain its own branch. So let's see, let's check in here. Let's say these will be simplified. After simplification, they will be like this. Each branch will contain 17, 17, 0, 1. So it's 13, 13 main surface, and there is 0 and 1. Okay, so if I set simplify in here and basically split the tree. Okay, but the split will be let's say custom path. This component is called custom path, which basically contains the concatenate and just this symbol and this symbol and this symbol and just 2 numbers like this. And what I really want to do right now is basically you can see that I want to separate the 0 from the 1 despite the original number, which will be in here. Let me show you in here, which will be better. I want to separate the 0 in a branch and a 1 in a branch despite this number, ignoring this this main number. So I can simply select this one and in here I will hit this icon, or I can select this one and hit the multiplication. Okay, and click it in here, and in here I will say 0. So now I have the 0. Let me show you. I have where is the surfaces? Okay, I have the zero surfaces, which will be the, the faces on the front, and this one will be the faces on the back, and simply graft in here, and graft in here, and loft maybe. So this one will be like this. Make sure that they are simplified. Sometimes it doesn't work if you are not simplifying, and this is perfect. Finally. So this is a really great trick. Okay, or you can simply make a path mapper. Path mapper for this, and simply create null mapping, and instead of in here make sure that B is first and A is second, so the result will be like this. And when you trim it, when you trim this result, the result will be like this, 0 and 1, and of course you can explode it, explode tree, or simply type bang, and again select this one and select this one, and it's perfect. Now it's perfect. Okay, 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 okay. So this part is perfect for now, or we can simply select this one instead, doesn't matter. We reach what we needed to do. Okay, so we will hide this and save, and in here the twisted boxes, hopefully they look perfect. Enable. In here these are the twisted boxes. Let's say list item. We need to sort these. So of course we don't need to sort this because we will use the same unit for all of this. Okay, and in here enable this one. Of course we don't need this one in this case, so just we can select, instead of using this I will use the original twisted box, and enable this. Let's hope everything is working, and enable this of course. Enable this, double click. This is perfect, but I don't need them to be vertical, I need them to be horizontal. So in this case I need all I need to do now is simply dragging this one, Control C, Control V, and again this one is the one to rotate. So simply distangle this one. There's 13. If you edited this, you will edit the 13 cluster. So and simply did I distangle? Yes, it's okay. And now disconnect anything in here. Double click, and in here you will have the rotation. The angle here is pi. You can say half pi, 0.5 multiplied by pi. Okay, and save. And you can simply drag the geometry, Control Shift, and input it in here, and drag it in here, and enable this. It will take a little bit of time. and double click in here. And you can see that this is exactly what we are looking for. So if we showed this part and showed everything in here, show, of course I don't want to see these. Let's double click on it and again double click and hide this part, HI. So now you can see that this is exactly what we wanted to create, because we wanted this part to be simple, just a class and a simple structure, simple facade, because we don't want to overdo it. But in this case, in this part, we will do exactly the same thing in here that we did in here, but of course we will ignore this part. And I think that's it for this lecture. I hope you enjoyed what I did, and we had a lot of problems, a lot of technicalities that we faced today, and it's kind of it's almost like 100 minutes. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. Again, if you want to see the Morpheus Hotel series, you can join my. You can go to my channel. Yeah, there is 2 webinars, and in here you have 4 webinars for this series so far. So, and of course we will continue to work on this project. And also don't forget to subscribe and like and share if you are happy with the content. Also, all the files will be available for on Patreon, so feel free to support me on Patreon. Already there is the GH script for the Morpheus Hotel already in there, the Rhino for part 1 and the Grasshopper for part 2 and 3. And of course the files for today will be available too, so you can get them from there. And those are the supporters that already supporting me on Patreon, so thank you so much, and you can join them. And thanks for watching. Share it with your friends or anyone who is interested in parametric design or computational design or fluidity or Rhino. And thank you so much. Have a nice day.